Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new Doctor Who video for today. So in this video, as you can tell, I've got a whole new lighting system right next to me, so I'll show you quickly. Here we are. So that way you can see me a lot better, and then more better than ever before, without having to sit next to the window for you to see me with this room being a bit dark. So anyway, today's video is about the new B&M sets that are coming out later on this year, either in July/August time, because they do get a bit delayed, and of course the autumn sets. Now, during these sets, we are having an 8th Doctor set, a 10th Doctor set, 2 Dalek sets for the first wave, and then of course we got in the next wave we've got a 9th Doctor, a 13th Doctor set. We've got a Davros and Dalek set with another 2 Dalek sets and a Doctor and Tardis set. So I thought, why not do a video of me sitting down, I've watched a lot of people give their opinions about what they think each set's going to be. So I thought, I'm going to try it this way. So, jumping on to the 8th Doctor 3-pack, basically. Now, I've actually written down 3 possible sets this could be. So, the first set is, of course, the Doctor, Grace, and, of course, Eric Roberts' Master from the movie. Now, again, anything to do with Doctor Who the movie, the rights is owned by Fox, not the BBC, because the BBC went into cooperation with them. So that is a bit of a downer. So I don't really think it could be Grace or the Master, but it could be. You know, we just never know. So the other possibility I've got is from Big Finish. So basically, because I really think the Daleks pack they did for the Big Finish stories a couple of years ago, now which I've got, where we've got the 7th Doctor and the Dalek, we've got the 8th Doctor from Dark Eyes with a Dalek, and then the War Doctor from a Dalek from Big Finish. So if they're going to go down the Big Finish sort of route, I'm absolutely all for it. Don't get me wrong, I think it's perfect. So there's 2 big Finisher sets I've actually put. So the first Big Finish set is to celebrate Dark Eyes. So a re-release of the Dark Eyes 8th incarnation of the Doctor. So the 8th Doctor in his Dark Eyes clothes with the plain white t-shirt, the blue leather jacket, the jeans, and of course the brown shoes. With the companion to go along with that is Molly O'Sullivan. Now, I've been listening to Doctor Who Big Finish, so I'll just go and get them for you. So, with Doctor Who Big Finish, I actually do think it could be Molly. If they're going to do a Big Finish set, I would like to try and do it on the Dark Eye set. So, we've got Molly O'Sullivan, the first ever Big Finish companion on figure. I know he has Lucy Miller and is it Charlie? Something like that in the beginning. I've not really listened to any of the beginning stuff, so I don't really know anything about that. But then, of course, for the third figure in the pack, I've actually put down the Master. Now, the Master was introduced in Dark Eyes too. So I would actually be interested if we could have a Dark Eyes Master with Alex McQueen as the Master. So I would really be interested in that one. And then, of course, the other 8th opportunity I've actually put is, of course, the 8th Doctor with Lucy Miller and Charlie, his first companion. Is it Charlie or Charlotte? I think it's Charlie. It's Charlie in the Light at the End, so it could be Charlie. So I think that could be a good Doctor Who pack set. Now, forgive me, I don't know a lot about Big Finish. I've only just started getting into it properly, so I've literally gone and bought since last month, I've actually gone and bought 5 sets, which is basically Out of Time, Dark Eyes 1 with the Return to Taros. Then, of course, I bought the first Santorin at Comic-Con, and now Dark Eyes 2. So I'm slowly building up on the Dark Eyes stuff. I'm going to try and get all the Dark Eyes stuff, because I really think the Dark Eyes stuff is pretty interesting, and I'm absolutely on the second story of the second box set now, which is The Right Room. So I'm quite looking forward to getting my review out quick as possible, because I've already listened to the first story and I found that very interesting, really. So coming into the 10th Doctor pack, now I've kind of come down with 3 possible. They could go a companion set with the 10th Doctor with Rose and Donna, or swap Donna with Martha, or get rid of Rose and Donna. So that's the 2 pack. Really, just keep the 10th Doctor, put Rose or Donna and Martha with him. Just get rid of one. That's one solution, basically, I can think of. Or there's one thing I've always wanted them to do, is a Waters of Mars set. So, of course, we got an End of Time figure set with the 10th Doctor with the cuts and bruises, with the Rassilon figure, with the Master, and, of course, the regeneration of the 11th Doctor figure. So I was thinking, why not do a Waters of Mars figure? So you can put the 10th Doctor in his spacesuit. You can have Adelaide Brooke and one of the water creatures. That'd be a nice little set for Waters of Mars, to celebrate Waters of Mars. I really think that could be interesting. Jumping into the Dalek sets now. Now, I actually put down Death to the Daleks, Genesis of the Daleks, Destiny of the Daleks, and Resurrection of the Daleks. So I think that we could have History of the Daleks sets with Death to the Daleks and Genesis of the Daleks first. But I think there have been rumours of a Planet of the Daleks set coming out, Planet of the Daleks Mark II, with the Dalek Supreme coming out. So that'd be quite interesting if we do get that one. But I'm not really too certainly sure, so... But going what I think, it could be Death to the Daleks set, it could be Genesis of the Daleks, Destiny of the Daleks, or Resurrection of the Daleks. Now, if it's going to be Death and Genesis, I really think that would be a great way to release these figures, because these Daleks are two different Daleks, because the Death of the Daleks are like in silver and black, not like the whole body paint is like in this really kind of silvery colour, and then you've got these like the roundels on the Daleks, the Dalek bumps that are black. And of course, Genesis of the Daleks is just the return of the Planet of the Daleks. So that's what I put for the Dalek sets. Now, the next one is interesting, because I've actually put down 2 figures for the 9th Doctor pack. So the first figure, it could be the 9th Doctor, Rose, and I have changed this quite a few times. So the first one I put was with an Auton, but we've already had that early on with the B&M waves coming out. So I don't really think they would go to that one. So the next one I've got is the 9th Doctor with a Savine and, of course, the Space Pig. But I don't really think that could actually happen. Or I've gone down for the Empty Child and the Doctor Dances set. So we could have the 9th Doctor, the Empty Child, and, of course, the woman who, Nancy, from that episode. Or they could try and do, like, a Parting of the Ways sort of set with the 9th Doctor, instead of him like being in the disco dance move, really, and that. So I really think they could have put him in like the black jumper, and his all of the costume with, I think, with Linda Moss and a Dalek. I think that could be pretty interesting for a 9th Doctor set. Or release it like with the android, bring in the android. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Yeah, the android, you heard me right, because there was an actual android in Series 1's finale. The 13th Doctor pack. Now, this one I've actually put down 3 possible figure sets for the 13th Doctor pack. Now, the first pack I've put is, of course, with Dan, which we've got Rock, Graham, Ryan and Yaz on the figure set, not last year, the year before, in 2020 for the B&M set. So I really think it could be interesting if we could have Dan, a modern Santorin in the classic colours, and of course Shasha Dhawan's Master. So that's one I've actually basically put for the first pack, really. So 2 figures for Flux, and then just throw in the Master for the sake of it, so that we can have a Master figure for Jodie's era for the figure shelf, which you could tell me, this, as you can see behind me, this is all my Jodie Whittaker. This is all my Jodie Whittaker shelf here. So I'd be interested if we could have Dan as Santorin and, of course, the Master. And then, of course, for the second pack, I've actually put down a Cyberman, the Robertson guy from the Spider episode and Revolution of the Daleks. So I think that could be interesting. And then, of course, I've put a Weeping Angel, or possibly the 13th Doctor becoming a Weeping Angel from Doctor Who Flux. So I thought that could be pretty interesting, you know. And then the third one I've actually put for the 13th Doctor set is, of course, the Master from Spyfall. So we could have him in Spyfall costume, or we could have him in his normal regular costume like we do for the Timeless Children. And I've also put down a figure for the Roof Doctor, so bring back the Fugitive Doctor. That'd be interesting for a figure. And then, of course, put Dan. So, yeah, I've kind of put Dan twice. So, that's the kind of interesting thing I would like to see. Now, some people are going, oh, what about the Doctor Who Flux? Why not celebrate Doctor Who Flux with the return of, like, a figure of Swarm or his sister or the Passenger? I don't really think that would do much money. I'm trying to think what will bring in the money. Now, it'd be interesting to have another companion. Now, the Davros and Dalek set. Now, this one was very interesting because I actually put down 5 figure sets for this one that possibly could be. So, the first one I put is Genesis of the Daleks pack. So, it's just like a Davros, the Michael Wisher Davros, with the Dalek without the pump, because when we see in the very first cliffhanger episodes for the end of part 1 of Genesis of the Daleks, we just see the Dalek with the weapon and not with the actual plunger. So I thought that could be interesting for one. The next one I put is Destiny of the Daleks. So this will be interesting to get the David Goodison Davros figure released, and then of course the Dalek suicide bombers in that figure set as well. So I thought that could be interesting for them to do. Resurrection of the Daleks. Now I would actually be interested for Resurrection of the Daleks with Davros, and of course with the Daleks Supreme from that story. That will be absolutely interesting. Resolution of the Daleks, the Colin Baker story. I would actually like to see Davros be released in that kind of like head jar thing that spins around for in mainly episode 1 until it gets destroyed in episode 2, and then Davros just comes in, his normal hover chair, goes, "You fools! You cannot kill me! I am Davros!" with electrocution. So I thought that could be interesting with him in the glass dome. And then of course the fourth one I've actually put is Remembrance of the Daleks. Is that fourth? No, sorry, fifth one. Sorry, fifth one. It's from Remembrance of the Daleks. So the re-release of the Emperor Davros, with Davros done himself up to become like the Emperor Dalek in the gold chains and everything. So I thought that could be really interesting. Another release. And with this one, another damaged Dalek. So release that kind of pack. I think that was what he released before. Not too sure. My McCoy shelf is pretty low. Same with Colleen Baker. So I kind of want more figures for them. And then of course the final basically figure that's been said is the First Doctor and Electric Tardis. Now, everybody's going, "Oh, but we've already had the First Doctor and TARDIS, but this is an electric one." So everyone's probably there scrunching through their brains going, "Oh, it could be this, oh no, it could be that, or it could be this, it could be that." No, I would actually, now there are 3 stories that I think this could actually work from. So the first story I've actually put down is from The Chase. Yes, the one with the Daleks with Ian and Robert's departure. Because in season 2 the TARDIS does change a little bit for that one with the shorter stacker roof. It changed right about season 2 onwards. The third option, now this one I think could be really interesting. A Twice Upon a Time figure set. Now you're probably going in your heads going, "Hey, what? Did he just say Twice Upon a Time figure set? That's a Capaldi episode." Yes, it is a Capaldi episode, but I really think it could be the right time for us to get a David Bradley figure of him dressed as the First Doctor. And I would absolutely think that would be very interesting to have a Twice Upon a Time figure set with a whole new police box as from that story. And then, of course, you could release the First Doctor in his hat, scarf, and the cape that he wears in Twice Upon a Time. Now, I think this will be an interesting route to do, is because then you can actually carry on with your shelves with the multi-Doctor stories. Like, for my multi-Doctors, I've done a section on my shelf for the 3 Doctors. I've done a section on my shelf for the 5 Doctors. There's a section in my Colin Baker shelf for the 6 Doctor, for the 2 Doctors. Sorry, I've even done like a little display shelf for the Day of the Doctor. So really, I think the possibility of us getting a Twice Upon a Time Doctor and TARDIS could be really interesting, and it could build up me Capaldi shelf really. So you can have Capaldi's TARDIS in one corner, Davros, Bill Parts and all that lot, and then you can put David Bradley's First Doctor in the right hand corner of your shelf, you know, build up the Peter Capaldi bit. So you can have so basically you can have figures for all the multi-Doctor stories. Like I've done it for my 3 Doctors. I've done a nice little display for the 5 Doctors with the First Doctor from the 3 Doctors, with the 2nd Doctor from the 3 Doctors, and then of course the 3rd Doctor from the 5 Doctor range, and then I got another 5th spare, add another spare 5th Doctor figure, so I put that in to make that the kind of 5 Doctors sort of thing, because Tom Baker never came back for this episode. And I've done a display on my shelf here for the Day of the Doctor, and absolutely fantastic, I have to say. The only thing I do need to do for that one is get another TARDIS for the Tenant Doctor, and then hopefully we get a War Doctor release TARDIS, so I can put my custom TARDIS for the War Doctor out of the 8th/War Doctor section of my shelf and pop it in there because of the Big Finish stuff. So that is my guesses for what we could be getting out of the Doctor Who being in range for this year. Now, the one thing that is really interests me is the 8th Doctor pack. As I said, I've actually put down 3 different sets, like the TV movie set, the Dark Eye set with the 8th Doctor, Molly and the Master, and then of course the 8th Doctor with Lucy and Kathy Bradford in the first. So I kind of have that, but you can actually re-release him in his new kind of clothes with that was released back with a Dalek, I think, a couple of years ago. So anyway, let me know in the comments what are your guesses for these new Doctor Who B&M sets. Are you looking forward to the new B&M sets? Look, I am. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what basically is going to be these new B&M sets. I really have got the possibility, and I've got my fingers crossed for a Big Finish set, because I think Fox still owns the rights to the TV movie, so I don't really think we would get a TV movie 8th Doctor, a re-release of that with Grace or the Master. I really think that is the impossible side of things, so I would really think if we were going to have a Master set, I would actually like to have Alex McQueen's Master from Big Finish with, you know, with Molly O'Sullivan from Dark Eyes, and then you can have like a Dark Eyes set. You can actually call it Doctor Who, the 3-pack Dark Eyes set, you know, like the Unit family, but you can actually call this the Dark Eyes set with the 8th Doctor, Molly O'Sullivan and the Master, and then you can just carry on with these sets from Dark Eyes, because you got Toby Jones as another Time Lord and stuff. So that's what I really think could be the new B&M sets. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of my list? And thank you for, most importantly, watching this video, and have a great day. Thank you for being magnificent viewers and subscribers.